Okay, fine. Okay. So what is the flow control? It's like how many types of flow controls we have, and let's see in the objectives. So understanding about the flow control and what are the types of executions and working with flow control keywords and all. So keywords you remember, right? 33 keywords which are there, and we'll see, and few keywords in this chapter we'll discuss. So each chapter we'll discuss few keywords. Right? What are we discussed at the first day. So let's see what is the flow control and why we should we learn about that. The simple answer is to understand the flow of statements executing in a program. So how the flow is going. Suppose if you write any Python program and we need to understand how the flow is going. So from one line to another line. So we use this flow control. And in any programming language, statements will be executed mainly in three ways. See, in Python only, you'll just tell this one, notepad. So I told you like Python, we can write multiple ways like this small print statement, right? The same way here, this one is sequential. Sequential means line by line, it will go. The next is conditional. It will go based on the condition, it will work. So you might have some 10 lines of there in the condition, but like in your conditional sequence, like in the conditional format. So in that it will based on condition will work only few statements. So this is one way. The another one is loop thing. So this one will based on the loop format, like how it will work. Let's see. So sequential is already seen, like writing the complete Python lines in one print low, like this. Suppose copy paste the same lines like this. So now how it is working, like line by line. This where I've saved. Okay. See, we're just executing this lines line by line. See, it is printing. That is sequential. Now I want to use this some command to run this one. So how we can do that? Array babre, this is the problem. So flow control, let's see. In the conditional, before to learn this conditional looping, we have to know the flow control, how it is going. So the order of statements execution is called as flow control. So based on requirement, the program statements can execute in different ways like sequential, conditional, and repeatedly. See here, line by line, this is called sequential. And this one, how the program is going. So if the condition making true, then it will go to the true statements. If it is making false, then it will go to the false statements. So that is called conditional or decision. And the next looping execution is once the program from second line or third line enters into the fourth line, here it will go to the loop. So it will go to the condition here. Once the condition is becoming true, it will iterate, means it will like loop, like a circle type. So once the condition is false, then it will come out of the loop. So that is called loop or iteration, we call it. So this is how the different flows in our program. So let's see like what type of conditional statements or loop iterations we have in Python. See here, sequential statements execute from top to bottom, means like one by one only. I'll just go a little fast, we already know. So conditional based on condition statements used to execute. So conditional statements are useful to develop a better and complex programs we can do. So either we can only if condition we can use, or else like if else, or else like if elif or else combination. This so these combinations we can write our program little complex or like robust programs. So looping. So what is this? Based on conditions, statements used to execute randomly and repeatedly. So looping executions is useful to develop better and complex programming as well as using this if and the loops. So in loops we have two types. One is while loops and for loop. So we don't have do while how we have in Java. We don't have that in Python. So we have only while loop and for loop. Let's see, like for the second one, you know already sequential, right? Because writing the line by line. Now let's into conditionals. So in conditional or decision making statements, the first one is if statement. So let's see how the syntax of if condition. So here we have to pass the if keyword. It is a keyword. And the next one is condition. And the next is the colon. We have to give this one. In Java we prefer, like always prefer this flower brackets, but in Python we don't have that one, so we have colon. So after that we have to pass indentation. See, whenever I just used colon and enter, see, colon, it is coming automatically. This is called indentation. So we have to, this is the syntax in Python we have. If I use the condition colon, it is giving 4 spaces. After that, we have to pass some statements. What are the statements we want to execute? So this one is out of okay, this is fine. So now, before that, I'll just clear this one. Let me take one variable. It is SLP. Why to simply use always integers? I'll use some little extra things like integer strings alike. Now I want to find whether this is a string or not. As like whether using length, I want to how many letters, 3, right? So I want to check the length of the this one. If it is matching 3, then the only the if condition should pass. Let's see how I can do that. We can do two things. Either we can use length of where here, we can just storing this in here, or else we can directly use this one in if condition. So I will tell both examples. What is the variable? This one, right? Okay. Where, sorry, AB is equals to 3. So I'm just giving only if condition. So because in this combination we have 3 types, right? So I'm just using only first combination. So suppose in interviewer, he might have given some string, that is SLP or else like Bangalore, anything, any string. He wants you to check the length of the variable as well as the write the some if condition. It is matching with the 3 like that. So now you have to write the script like this variable, and you will just declare and get the length of that variable. Here I'll just separate this one stars. Now I'm going to write one more if condition for this one. So the same way, if directly using length of variable here. Earlier, what we did, we just declared like getting the output of the length for the variable, and here I'm just directly writing that. So now let's see how we can run this one. So we'll run always console or like command prompt. Which one you prefer? Okay. Okay. Now we can use either Python or like py. Just for now, I'll just use py. And what is the file? Third day. So to get the complete file name, just use enter 1 or 2 files like the file letters. Just click on tab. It will give the complete file name. This is one shortcut. Now see, it is matching. Why? Because here the length of the file, the 3. Suppose here I will pass input function. Let's see. String. Simply given that is a static, because once you define, we can't change in the program. Now while running the script, every time it will ask the user enter something that is a dynamic. Then I'm just using input. So I want to check the input of that. It is matching or not. Let's see. Give me something. Okay, I'll just enter SLP and it is matching. Suppose if I run the same script again, if I enter like Bangalore, let's see what it will give. It is not printing anything because after completing the if statements, if here, if the condition, if the condition is getting true here, then only it will come instead of the if condition. Suppose if the condition is false, then it will come out of the if statement. So it won't go inside of the if these statements. It will not print this one. Suppose here I'll just make one more out of if condition. Then it will understand easily. As do you remember, like suppose, one sec. What will be the output of this one? Yeah, score. Because the strings always should be either double quotes or single quotes. You should not supposed to use this one. Just use CLS. It will clear the command prompt. So now, whenever the condition is matching, then it will come out of the if statements, if such statements. So if the condition is matched, not like if you're getting false here, so it means length of the AB is 3, right? So if it is matching, then it will go inside. Suppose here the to get the previous comments, use upper arrow. Now I'm just typing Bangalore. Now what is the length of this one? How many characters you're passing? 5, right? So it will throw error. See, it is printing only out of if condition. It is not printing in this one. Point getting point, right? So it is not giving this point. So this one combination. Suppose if I use capital P, what will be the error? So what will be the output? This one, if here, if it is using capital, yeah. Why it is giving Bangalore? Because print is not defined. So it is taking print as a variable. But to use the predefined functions, it always will be in small letters. So this is one combination, guys. I'll make this one as comment. Combination. So this is one combination. So now I'm just going to wait to simply create this. Okay. Suppose I'm just taking one variable and taking the input from the user. So now I'll just remove this one. Wait, this one I was only for this one. Okay. Now every time I use only length directly in if condition. So here I want to check whether the given string have only 5 characters or not now. So here I will pass only if and else combination I will use. So how to use that? If length of variable is matching or is like if it is greater than 3, let's greater than 5. Okay, let's take 5. User given string is greater than 5 letters. This one combination. Now, whenever the condition is getting failed here, after if condition, if doesn't have any elif or else, it will just terminate the complete if condition. Suppose if we have else, given character, given string is not greater than 5 letters. Okay. Sorry. So now I'll use py and what is third file. So it is prompting me something. So now I will just type Tirupati. So user given string is greater than 5 letters because here how many characters you are passing? 9 characters. So now 9 greater than 5. The condition is getting true, then it is going inside of the condition. Now if I pass again, will SLP. So now it is going to else part because in this string we are just passing only 3 characters. 3 greater than 5 means false again. So it is the way. So this is about if and else combination. So there is one more combination of if, elif and else combinations are there. So I'm just commenting the complete lines. If you want, I will just give these Python files as well. So there is one combination and this is if else combination. So now I'm going to discuss about if, elif, else combination. For this one, I'll just use some other command here. Okay. Now here, I want to know whether the user passed as a string or integer or like something else. So I'll just want to check that. Now I'm just giving one sample question for you. So just take one variable and input of that. So in input, if you take that, will be output as a string, right? So now I want you to write the code whether the given like taking the input from the user, that is string or like integer or like float, like how we can do that. So using type conversion yesterday, which is discussed, right? String, integer, and float, right? So we'll just find out that. I'm just writing if. So verify that. Sorry, that's what is the type? Yeah, str of what is the variable? So you don't need to specify the str because already the input will take as a string, right? So here I will just use some other int of var is equals to. If you specify like this valid, guys, you don't need to give this int of. You can just give the it is a class name now. When you're getting confused, like why this one, I'll just show you for you. Var equals to 5 type of 5. This one, right? Class. I'm just taking this one class of that. So using that model here, I'm just using that here int. So I'm just checking whether the input from the user, whether it is integer like or string or like float. So now when value is integer format. Now here I can use one more thing. So because I need to check whether it is float or not, right? So I just convert into float to check that. Float. So here if I make var1 equals to 5.4 type var1. Get float, right? This one. We can use this one float here. Value is float. So I just told we need to find out whether it is integer or float or string. So see here we just used only int and float. So after that we can use just simply else. Given value is string format. Okay. So this is complete script we have done. So here after that I will just write one more out of if condition. So this definitely these conditions will work because these are not inside of the if condition, right? So we are seeing that how the sequentials is working, right? Now this one variable we're just taking, and after that if conditions, this one. Yeah, sorry, always clear CLS. Okay, now I'll just run py third. Enter something. I'll just enter 6. I'll use string format. Okay, we're just taking only, so we're just checking. So I didn't want to check. So here I will just here if you use this one. One sec, guys. Okay, let me convert here itself. AB equals to int of var. Now you don't need to specify here directly because if you see, if I use just only var of, here just converting. Okay, it will just convert. It is fine. But what is the default type here? Where it is string, right? So directly going to else part. So we just make this one AB. AB. Now let's see the same script I'm going to run. Out of again, why is there is something is wrong with this condition? Okay, let's one sec, guys. Maybe if I use this one, I think there is no much sense for this. Okay, let's see. We'll take some other example for that. We'll just keep this one aside. We'll just remove. Suppose here only we're just taking. Okay. I'm just taking some variable, right? I'm just taking the type conversion. I want to check whether the given variable it is a greater than 8 or like 9 or like that. So we'll just check if AB is greater than 8, print success. I didn't want to give the complete statements. It's taking time. So I want you to understand why, how, like what type of different combinations you can use only if condition or like only if else or like if elif and else. AB is greater than, sorry, less, sorry, less than 8. Now let's see some interesting thing, how it will work. Suppose if I pass 8, getting something, because here I'm just taking 8 is greater than 8, getting false. 8 it is greater than 8, again it is false. Suppose if it is equals to equal statement, then it will become true. So I just given 8 is greater than or not, so it is checking both the conditions. So 8 is greater than 8, no, it is taking false, then it is checking the next condition, again it is false, then it is coming to else. Suppose if I use 10, now it is success, because here itself the first statement is getting success. So this is the way you can use the if, elif and else combinations. Now this script, like how it is working, see. If the statement contains an expression or condition, as per the syntax code, it is mandatory, otherwise it throws syntax error. It is a mandatory. Every time if you use the if condition, you have to use the colon. After each statement, we need to follow indentation. This is the indentation. Otherwise, it is throw an indentation error. Suppose if you want to still check that, you can just try your side. Or it is just remove some indentation. Before prompting the intelligent string, it is giving error like indentation error. So always if there is a colon, we have to follow some indentation. So here, if the condition result is true, then if block statements will be executed. If the condition result is false, then if block statements won't execute. This is the way we just only if statement. Now, if else statement, how the statement is working. So earlier just given complete example, now just giving the statements how it is. So this is the syntax if and condition. Now these are the statements. As like we can pass anything. It just could be not only statements, means we can write some other coding as well. And else. So how after, suppose if the condition is getting failed here, then it will come to else part. So this is called if else combination. Here these all are like same one, like it colon, mandatory, indentation, everything. You want me to explain again? Because okay, because all the statements are like same similar only, so that's why. So now if else statement, so here if condition is getting false, it will come to else block. So and one more thing, guys. In this program, we just used only one elif. So after if and elif, so we can give n number of elif combination. So but only one if and only one else. So we can give n number of elif combinations. Suppose AB equals to 8. Suppose in the same example only, if I just give a 8 value, it will check the condition. This one is getting failed, this one is getting failed. And he comes here, it is matching. Then it will print this one. So we can write n number of elif combinations. Sorry, elif statements. Might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Depends on your what is that? Condition or requirement. So, but only one if should be there and only one else should be there. Now we have two things, right? Now I'll just remove this. Okay, I'll just remove this one and remove else part also. Now I've just given only one if condition, one else if condition. Let's see what will happen. Because it is checking that both, but there is no else statement, so that's why it is just coming out of the complete if condition. So this is about, so you can give n number of if conditions in your if condition, but should be only one if and one else. That's it. This is about conditional statement, guys. Is you any questions or any doubts in this one in if conditions? Now the actual programming will start from here, from looping. So in looping, if we want to execute a group of statements in multiple times, so if condition, if the condition is getting satisfied, it is coming to the statements and it is only once. Then after coming that, it is terminating the complete programming, or it's like executing the complete program, but only once. Suppose here you just see the same success. I want to print multiple times. So using loop only, it will happen. So execute a group of statements or multiple times, then we should go for looping kind of execution. So we have two tips, so two loops. One is while loop, another is for loop. So while loop, so let's see how it will works and what is the syntax of that. While loop, if we want to execute a group of statements repeatedly until the condition reaches to false, then we should go for this while loop. See, so this is just C syntax. The first is the syntax is the very important, guys. See, first one is initialization. We have to initialize some variable, and the while it is a keyword, and next one is a condition. It's same like if condition, but this one will like as a loops. The next it is a statements, anything, it will be print statement or like some other programs. The last line should be increment or decrement. So this is the complete one while loop. So if you are working with while loop, these are the four lines you should be mandatorily there. One is initializing, one is the while condition, some other statements, and increment or decrement. So let's see how the while will work here. Let's see the this one, the diagram. So once it comes to initialization, if you declare one variable equals to 5 like that, and while checking the condition, so while I equals to greater than or 5 or not, so then it will check, it will come inside of the loop. If the condition is satisfied, then it will come iterate until the condition is true. It will iterate. It will go here only. True. Okay. Print some statements. True. It prints the statements and increment. Once the condition is getting false, then it will come out of the loop. So let's see how we can write the example for that. Okay, here itself we'll just take that. So we're just taking the input var, right? So we're just converting into integer. Now we'll just use the same way. Now here itself we just initialized. Now I'll just use L condition. Now here I'll pass value 10. So now I want to check the user given value is matching with this or not. So here I'll take this. What is the value? AB less than or 10. I'll just take this one. I'll see whether it could be greater than 10 or less than or 10. This is the condition. Anything it could be. The condition should the now print what is the value of AB every time. So just printing that. Now AB, you guys remember like in arithmetic operator, no, unary operators, we have discussed something like increment and decrement. Either we can pass this way or else AB equals to AB plus 1, sorry, plus 1. Because what this one will do, it will just iterate again until the condition satisfies or else like getting false, then only it will come out of the loop. So now I've just given some if while conditions. For now I'll just clear. So now run the script. Now I want to enter something. It's like 4. I'll just type enter 4. Let's see what it will give. See, it is taking the value from 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So the 9 till 9 only. See why? Because after what is the value given here? 4. Now it will come here while 10 less than 4. Okay, it is condition satisfied because 10 is greater than 4. Now while getting true here, it is come inside of this one. Suppose if I run the same script and if you just pass like 11, it is not going inside of this one. because the first itself the set condition is getting false, then it is coming out of the while loop. Suppose the given condition is getting true, then only it will come inside of the while. So here 4 is less than 10, unless the 10 is greater than 4. Okay, this come and print what is the value of AB. Now first initially it will be 4. The next we are using increment. So increment plus 1. Or suppose you want to print only the even numbers using while. Just use plus 2. Now let's see magic of that program. I'll just use only 2 now. See, suppose you want to print only the even numbers. Sorry, odd numbers. Sorry, yeah. See, this is how it will work. So based on the increment, we can give anything. It should be increment only. Or let's like suppose if I give like this, it's like now decrementing. Suppose now I'll give the AB value as some 30. Now it is reducing 10, 30 like that until the condition is getting false. It will print. It will iterate line by line again. So multiple times the statement is executing. We have to use a loop conditions. This a loop is a while loop. Sir, I don't want to use like this. I want to use some other loop. So without conditions. So we have one more loop is for loop. So how we can use that? Before that we have some condition like statements for this while. Let's see. As per syntax, colon is mandatory for because it throws syntax error. And the next is indentation again. After that, condition gives the result as Boolean type. So here, if it is true, then only it will come inside of this while statement. Suppose if we want to, there is one more thing, guys, that is infinity loop using while loop. Say the same here. I will just use. These are the comments which you are commenting all the lines without just eliminating all the code. So here I'll just use while true. Now if I just use this one, let's see. Okay, AB. I'll just 50, 40. It is going. It is infinity loop. Okay. Yeah. See, now it is printing. Still, I am not touching anything. It is printing because that is like infinity loop, printing the one statement infinite times. To come out of this one, just click on Control C. It will abort that. So this is just like one sample infinity loop. Until the condition is getting false, it will print the same line. So that's why we use the one condition to come out of that. So I'll put here. So this while will use until the condition is getting false, iterate the or least like execute the statements multiple times. This is about for loop, guys. Suppose in your requirement there is no such conditions. You want to iterate multiple times. So how we can use that? There is one thing, particular loop that is for loop. Without conditions, we can use this for loop. So, but this for loop and while loop like little different. So basically, for loop is to get or iterate elements one by one from sequence like string, list, tuples, or it's like range or dictionary we have to use. So while iterating elements from sequence, we can perform operations on every element. So this is just syntax, guys. Just see for and variable in and sequence, and these are the statements. One second. Here I need to keep notation. Okay. Now this is the just syntax. For while loop, we have to declare 4 lines. But this for loop, we have to declare only 2 lines. This is one shortcut I like remember you can. And one more thing, just remember this in and for, these are the keywords. The keywords list we got, right? So we're discussing as well as along with the our things. See here for till now we discuss if, else, elif, for, while. These and all will discuss later. And there is in also and for. I think maybe the for is not a keyword. Okay. Okay, for you here itself. Okay, sorry. Flow control only. Okay. So we are discussing as well as the keywords and in the different chapters. So now in this flow control, we are discussing for and in. And the sequence here, the sequence means either it could be string or list, tuple, dictionary, set or range. These are the sequences. While iterating elements from sequence, we can perform some operation on every element. See now how it will works. Pawan, you're confused or like getting points, right? Like you're understanding everything. If you have any doubts, you can ask me myself. For now, I'll just listen. What is? I'll just use only string for now, because in the string chapter, I will understand easily this for loop and while loops how to use. So now I'm just declaring. Okay, what is that? Okay, for now I'll just comment these lines as well. It will create. In our complete Python file, we don't have anything now because it's all are commented. Here from just passing one variable equals to Bangalore. Now I want to print. Now it is horizontal, right? It's like horizontal line. I want to print this Bangalore into vertical. So how we can do that? Using loop, we can do this perform. For here we have to use some variable, guys. See here, see the syntax. For a variable, variable could be anything. We can take A or B or C, anything. Here I'll just take AB in. And what is the sequence here? Sequence means string, list, tuple, right? I'm just taking only string now. So what is the string? Where? Use some statements. So print AB. So it will print now because I want to print all where Bangalore into vertical, right? Like down. So we'll just use print. See, earlier it was we have given string in the horizontal. Now it's printing a Bangalore into vertical. So using for loop, we can do that. Suppose, so I want to eliminate a few. Okay, okay, that one we'll discuss in the strings chapter. Okay, for now, to work with strings using for loop, we have to pass the sequence here. What is it? Suppose you can directly pass here Bangalore itself. You don't need to declare at the top. This works. So this should be sequence in this here in this line. Either it should be string, list, tuple. That is a sequence we have to follow. About complete for loop, how to work with. So here you're not following any conditions because how it works. Let's see. You have just seen running the script, but I didn't explain how to work this one. See, for AB in sequence, right? So here this sequence, the first value will go this one B. I'm just talking about the flow, how the program is working. It will iterate each character or each value. Now this B is a one character or one value. So this B value is AB now. This A. Or else like if I Q iteration one. One sec guys. I'm just taking one variables. Forget about that. That just I'm just giving one a small print statement to explain you better. In first iteration, sorry, again it is taking only one. equals to I plus 1. Okay. So now array invalid keyword of I. Yeah. Okay. Let's see why it simply confuse you again. So every iteration, just take this one only. Every iteration is the first value is B. The AB value is B. The next iteration, AB value is A. The next iteration is N. So it is like taking one character. So the for loop will help you to fetch each character, like each letter from a given string. So this is how the for loop works. You're getting point about how to use the for loop, right? Now, infinite loops. So we just discussed about infinite loops. We can't do with for loops. We can work solely with while. So just give while the true and then give one statement. That's enough to print the complete infinite loops. Yeah. Till now we have seen else block with only if condition, right? Now this else block we can use it for loops also. How we can use? In Python, it is possible to use element or statement along with for loop. So this is the syntax. So you have to use just same for loop syntax. Next, else, and the statement. Suppose mm, in this Bangalore, this one right, this string, I want to find there is a line. Earlier Bangalore was BEN, right? Here I have written Bangalore. I want to find. Let's just assume there is like I. I'll just take Bingaluru. Don't. We'll just taking. So Bingaluru. Now I want to find the second character is A or I. So I just want to find that. I think maybe if I tell that you will get confused. Okay. One sec. Yeah. I'll just take A, B, C, D, E, F. Now in this string, just assume this is a string. Now I want to find there is a character of D or it's like H. I want to find this string. I'm not sure like whether the H is present in this or not. I just want to find H is present in this string or not. For that, what I will do? Okay, I'll just use print AB. No, not inside of the for loop. We have to use the else in the outside of the else. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Suppose here I'll take one more. Not one more. Okay. We'll use if condition, guys, because we need to check, right? So using with that one, it won't work. Now here I'll take one more. I just one variable or it's like variable equals to input of enter any character. Now after passing this h to this variable, I need to check AB equals to this var, because here I'm just passing only one h value, right? So I want to find the h character is present inside of this string. Character h. No, see how it is printing.